Today we're checking out Kaya Ghost Assassin and Oathbreaker, and we're going to see what signature spells might pair best with her. For 2 a white and a black, she starts at 5 loyalty. 0. Exile Kaya Ghost Assassin or up to 1 target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. You lose 2 life. -1. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. -2. Each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. I love cards like this. I love attrition style strategies. I'm not sure that this card is bonkers good, but it definitely seems moderately good. At first I thought it was kind of weird that she doesn't have a plus ability, but she kind of does. The 0 blinks Kaya, and when she comes back she resets her loyalty back to 5. And of course you can blink a creature instead if you want to, which is probably what this deck would be based around, ETB creatures. It's kind of a shame that the target doesn't come back till your next upkeep, but if you've targeted Kaya, this is kind of a good thing anyways, because then they can't attack it. But it also means that you can't cast your signature spell as long as she's in exile. So keep that in mind and plan accordingly. If a blink deck is the kind of deck we're building, then a signature spell that also blinks a creature is probably the way to go. I like Cloud Shift, an instant for white. Exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. This one comes back immediately, no waiting till the end of turn or your upkeep. Flicker is a sorcery for 2, so it's worse in that regard, but it targets any non-token permanent, which means you can target Kaya with it. Then we've got some options that blink your whole team, and I think that's the way I would go. This first one is the most popular pick with Kaya, coming in at around 10% of decks. Eerie Interlude is an instant for 3 mana. Exile any number of target creatures you control, return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Semester's End is an instant for 4. Exile any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers you control at the beginning of the next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. Each of them enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature and an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker. Lae'zel's Acrobatics is an instant for 4. Exile all non-token creatures you control, then roll a d20. 1 through 9. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. 10 through 20. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control, then exile them again. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. That one's a double blink. That seems really fun. And Sudden Disappearance, a sorcery for 6. Exile all non-land permanents target player controls. Return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So this seems quite a bit worse than the others, but the upside is that you can do it to your opponent. Exile their creatures until the end of turn. That'll leave you free to swing in for the win, hopefully. Or of course you can use it on yourself, so I like that versatility. Going in a different direction, we could pick a signature spell that leans into that -1, the one that makes each opponent lose 2 life and you gain 2 life. A Sanguinate and Debt to the Deathless are both good for that. In fact, Debt to the Deathless is the second most popular signature spell with Kaya at around 9%. Or maybe Torrent of Hailfire. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card. Kaya even has a couple good flavor picks. Kaya's Wrath is a 4 mana sorcery, destroy all creatures. You gain life equal to the number of creatures you controlled that were destroyed this way. Or Kaya's Guile, 3 mana instant, choose 2. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, exile all cards from each opponent's graveyard, create a 1/1 black spirit creature token with flying, you gain 4 life, and it has Entwine. Nice and versatile. I'm not surprised to see it as the 3rd most popular signature spell. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. That helps out my channel a ton. And you can check out my channel for well over 100 other videos like this, trying to match planeswalkers to signature spells. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.